Want to stay up to date with everything that's happening on the show? Or do you have a story that you'd like to submit for one of our Listener Stories episodes? You can get in touch with the show via the website at www.hauntedukpodcast.com, on Instagram at hauntedukpodcast, on X at hauntedukpod, or you can email us at contactus@hauntedukpodcast.com. We're also on Facebook and TikTok. And if you want to support the show, you can do it via either Patreon or Ko-fi. Both platforms have exactly the same content, but work in slightly different ways. One of the advantages of Patreon is its sleek user interface, but if you want to avoid those pesky additional charges Apple, Google, and Patreon apply to your subscription, then why not give Ko-fi a try? Simply open a browser window and type ko-fi/Haunted UK Podcast. That's Ko-fi/Haunted UK Podcast, and you'll soon find us. Whichever platform you choose, we're sure you'll enjoy the bonus content. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the episode. Welcome to Talk Haunts, and we have James Boughen here for our Halloween special. We are so honoured to have you on the show. Now, you are on today to talk a bit about the current show that you've written and produced called Follow the Rabbit, which is currently available on BBC Sounds, and to discuss all things paranormal with us. Firstly, Follow the Rabbit. I've got to say, I did really love it. And it's got a Phoenix Night actress in there as well.
Does it?
Yeah, which was absolutely brilliant for me. Really love her.
Joanne Wright.
Jo.
Yeah,
really love her. Can you tell us a little bit about the show, James, and where did you get the inspiration from, how it came to be, and how you began to put it together?
Yeah, so the show is essentially a sort of a love letter to paranormal podcasts. And yeah, was quite careful not to lean too far into parody, because it does come from a place of loving them myself. So yeah, it follows. It's presented as, it's a sitcom essentially, but it's presented as a paranormal podcast that a guy has made himself, that he's tracking his own investigations into the paranormal to try and prove they exist, and he's not very good at it. So yeah, it kind of it came from listening to podcasts like Uncanny, which I'm sure you guys have heard and discussed, and probably had people from Uncanny on your own show, right? Yeah, it sort of came from there, really. When Uncanny first came out 2-3 years ago, I remember listening to it and really enjoying it, but thinking, this would be great if it was a mockumentary and the stories were ridiculous and the presenter wasn't very good. So sort of taking something that works and sort of making it funny, really. So that's kind of where the original idea came from.
And you actually managed to get the Danny Robbins on there.
Yeah, which was great. Which he was really good sport about it. Yeah, obviously it's a BBC show, and obviously so is Uncanny. The commissioner suggested getting Danny involved, said it might be quite fun. And I was a little bit scared of asking him at first, because like I say, it does come from a love of Uncanny. And I didn't want him to think, oh, this is kind of a Mick take of Uncanny, which it isn't. But thankfully, I mean, Danny started out as a comedy writer himself, so he gets it. And thankfully, he really liked the script, he really liked the idea. So yeah, he agreed to be in it, and he's in the last episode, which is really, really nice. And yeah, hopefully there's a bit of a crossover with Uncanny fans and your fans, and anyone who's interested in uncanny in Danny's work and comedy as well. I think there's a nice crossover there. But yeah, he plays a version of himself, and he does a really good job of it, as I'm sure you'll agree.
Oh, I loved it. I loved how Chris Relish describes his interview subject, like Danny Robbins does, but in front of them, and he's always deeply unflattering. It's really made me laugh.
Especially in the second episode when he's doing it in front of the guy, he sort of says, "I can hear all this," and he's just slagging him off basically to his face, which is quite funny. Yeah,
because that's a bit an uncanny, which I always find mildly amusing as well. When he's actually obviously afterwards describing them, and you think, "Oh, how would he describe me?" But I loved that. It was really funny. Were there any other elements of uncanny that you took for inspiration, or any other podcasts, or was it just mainly?
I tried not to take too much from, I didn't want it to feel like a sort of like for like copy of it. I tried to take the tropes and the sort of structure and then sort of play around with it a bit. I suppose episode 3, the alien episode, is maybe more similar to one of the uncanny episodes. So I took bits of that, but obviously in my version I made the farmer, the character who had the alien experience, like, super boring. That was his thing. But yeah, no, not really. I tried to steer away from, tried to be inspired by the sort of format and structure without taking too much from it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I've got to say that it's that third episode that is my personal favourite. And Marie and myself were having a little bit of a chat before we came on. And I think it's hers as well.
It is.
It's mine as well.
It just absolutely cracked me up where Chris is describing, it'd be great to get some evidence of an alien, a finger or a leg. And then he just describes Robert is a farmer. He's a very dull man.
Yeah.
It's just, brilliant. And this farmer's just mad on getting everything exactly right. It was about 10 o'clock.
Super boring. It's
it doesn't really make a difference, mate.
Yeah, it's such a silly episode. I think that's why I like it. It's ridiculous. They're trying to get a piece of an alien, and they're taking it so seriously. And it's just very, very silly. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's a lot of people's favorite episode. It's mine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the line of thinking of caving its head in with a shovel. also, the bit that cracks me up as well was, it communicated with me, not with words, but with its mind. And some words. Right, okay.
Yeah. Actually, that cave in its head in bit came from, I don't know if you're familiar with this case. So I'm from the Northeast, obviously. And there's a case known as the Gateshead Grey. Do you know about this?
No, go on.
Which is, I found this really obscure sort of self-made documentary from about 10, 15 years ago. And it's basically this guy talking about this supposed alien. He interviews the guy who had the experience, and essentially this guy sort of says when he was a kid he saw aliens in the back street in Gateshead, and he tells an adult, and the adult apparently caves its head in with a shovel or hits it, kills it with something, right, okay. And then they drag it into a back alley, and then the authorities arrive, and then very Men in Black, and then sort of warn them, don't ever speak of this again. So how much truth is in that? Who knows? But part of that episode came from that. Yeah.
Oh, I feel an episode coming on, Steve. That sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
When did that happen? When was that?
It was a long time ago, and it's said to have happened the 50s, I think. But the documentary's from about 10, 15. I'll find it. I'll send you the documentary. It's very strange, but interesting.
So how did you go about getting your cast together as well? Because it is really good. I think the chap who plays Chris Relish is he's just got a great way about describing, his mannerisms, his voice is just fantastic. It's just really good. How did you get them all together? Did you have those people in mind, or?
Yeah, I had some people. So Tom, who plays Chris Relish, is a stand-up comedian, and he's done bits of acting, and he's sort of on the up at the moment.
Yeah.
And I like his online sketches a lot. And I met him briefly, and sort of we were chatting about ideas, and obviously this was coming up, so I had him in mind for this. And he just embraced it, and we went through it all, and he just really got the character. And yeah, like you say, he has his own very sort of unique style and delivery,
Yeah.
which really adds to it, I think. So he was perfect for the role, exactly the sort of performer I wanted for it. Yeah, and he was brilliant. The rest of them, yeah, just sort of picked out people that, like you mentioned, Phoenix Nights there, and there's people that I've admired growing up watching comedy from when I was younger, who I'd love to work with, and I really sort of tried to compile a list of people that I genuinely loved from comedy and who I think might be realistic to, to say yes and be in this. And thankfully, everyone said yes. So it's a dream cast, really. Yeah, everyone was brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, you're a comedy writer by trade and producer. Have you got any upcoming projects or any more plans for more of Follow the Rabbit?
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, hopefully, I need to see. It's only just gone out the last episode a couple of weeks ago, so I just need to see how it's doing, and then hopefully we can get a second series. I'd love to do more of it because I think there's a world there, and there's definitely more to explore. You can kick on with the characters as well and develop their stories further. So, and obviously, meet more people with mad stories of supernatural encounters, which I think is just really fun to explore.
There's so much mileage with it, isn't there? It's great. Yeah, so Steve, did you want to ask about the paranormal?
Yeah, I do. I would love to know, because you mentioned at the start of this, it's paying a bit of an homage to the paranormal podcasts and some of the paranormal TV programs and things like that and documentaries. But where do you actually stand with your beliefs on the paranormal? Are you a believer? Are you a skeptic? Are you somewhere in between? Where do you stand?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the boring answer, which is I want it to be true. And I'm sort of on the fence because I haven't seen or experienced anything myself that I can confidently say was a paranormal experience.
Right.
And I think most of us have had experiences of some kind where we feel something watching us or the feeling of like an unknown threat, maybe. But then again, I know a lot of people who've had actual tangible experiences with ghosts or other things, which I haven't. But yeah, I want to believe. I think that's where I'm at. I'm in the camp of I want to believe, but
yeah.
I need to experience it myself. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But when say a friend or a colleague of yours actually tells you something about that, what do you actually personally think? Are you okay to kind of sit there and absorb it and respect it, or are you kind of thinking?
I think it depends. I think I'm pretty open-minded, and I respect it. I think it depends what the story is, right? But yeah, I'm certainly open to it, and certainly don't dismiss it immediately. Definitely not.
Is there like a famous case that intrigues you? Like Enfield? Or...
I think, that's the one that came to mind straight away. There was Enfield. Just because I think people are very quick to dismiss the Enfield haunting, but a lot of stories have been inspired since, and I think, it's one of them, isn't it? And I think with it, especially those demonic possession type stories, which are quite appealing to a lot of people. I mean, The Exorcist, one of my favorite films. I think there's something inherently very interesting about those cases, because that's not just seeing a ghost, that is somebody being possessed by something else, which I think is super interesting. So I really enjoy cases like that. Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah, I'm scared of demonic possessions. Haven't got time for it, really. I'm terrified it's going to happen.
Too busy to be possessed yet.
Yeah, got to get the kids to school. I've got no time to have my head spinning around and vomiting green liquid.
Well, there's a possession case in Follow the Rabbit, isn't there?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
With the biscuit tin.
Yeah. Which was a really fun one to write.
Yeah, especially when she's like, shooting off up the walls and scaling things like that. And he's kind of shouting her back to say, can we finish this? And stuff like that. Yeah. She's like,
yeah. That was Beth, who is a fellow Teessider, and the plan was to edit her voice, and she just did that. I was like, you don't need to do the voice. I'll change it myself, and she just came out with that straight on. I was like, that's perfect.
So you partially answered the next question, but we always ask this because it's always fascinating for the people that we have on. Is there a book or a film, or books or films from, even if you're going to go back to childhood as well, that you have as kind of standout favourites? which are paranormal based or horror based that you always kind of come back to. You've obviously said one, which is The Exorcist, which was probably up there with one of the best horror movies ever made.
Yeah.
But do you have any others?
So when I was about 9 or 10, I watched, I don't know if you've seen this, the Leslie Nielsen Dracula parody. Have you seen this? Dracula
Dead and Loving It.
Which is just a very silly version of Dracula, obviously. And I really loved that film. Something about that film just really spoke to me. And yeah, I think that horror comedy crossover is something that speaks to a lot of people. I suppose a light-hearted look at something that's inherently scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've always been fascinated by the paranormal. Obviously, I love comedy, but when I was younger, I'd watch horror films that I was definitely too young to be watching, and it always fascinated me. I think anything to do with supernatural worlds was something I was always interested in. So yeah, so Dracula, didn't love in it. But in terms of actually things that are scary, I really this is another vampire one, but I really love the film Let the Right One In, which was based on a book.
Yeah.
Which I think is just a really nice twist on the vampire genre, and done really well. Obviously that came from a book as well, but yeah. In terms of the things I've seen when I was a kid, definitely watched things. I loved a lot of the Cronenberg stuff, The Fly.
The Fly's a great movie.
Yeah, which is brilliant.
We kind of have our list of movies that have just absolutely bloody damaged us. American Werewolf was one for me. Watched it way too young, and then everywhere I went as like a 10-year-old, there were werewolves hiding behind everything. It just damaged me for years.
Yeah, I mean, that transformation scene is brilliant, isn't it? It's still one of the best.
Absolutely amazing, considering it's all practical effects. It's
I love that. I love it.
Absolutely mind blowing how they got that together. I think it was. Was it Rick Baker? Was it Rick Baker? I think it was Rick Baker.
Who did the practical?
Yeah, was it Rick Baker? Yeah, who did that? Yeah.
Alien as well. I mean, these are obviously a little bit more sort of supernatural, these things, but Alien is like a brilliant horror film, and still stands up now.
Okay, so James, we always usually ask as well a question about a paranormal experience, but did you say you haven't had it? Or do you know of anyone who's had?
I do. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah. But my mum had a pretty interesting paranormal experience.
Okay.
So my grandma died a few years ago. She had Alzheimer's.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. And she still lived in the house that my mum grew up in, and my mum always said that I think it was her old bedroom, she always felt something in there, and she'd had experiences, but nothing as sort of tangible as a few years ago when my grandma was obviously unwell, and my mum and my aunties sort of took care of her round the clock. And they used a baby monitor to keep an eye on it. That's a very horror trope, isn't it? Baby monitor.
I was just going to say, this straight away, this is going to get creepy.
They obviously uses baby monitor to keep an eye on her throughout the night and just make sure she's okay. Obviously, they could hear her if she woke up. So then my mum was woken in the night by something or someone pushing her back, like pushing it from some sort of, she was laying on her side, so it was like pushing quite firmly against her back, which woke her up. She turned to realize that the baby monitor had gone off. I think it had broken, or the battery had died, or something. Whatever had happened, it had gone off, so she couldn't see or hear my grandma. So she went to check on her to find that she was quietly crying and obviously needed her. So my mum then held her hand until she fell asleep. My mum believes it was my granddad who died a number of years earlier telling her that my grandma needed her. And then a week later is when my grandma actually died. So I think that's quite a comfort in ghost stories, opposed to anything super scary. Which I know obviously is, ghosts aren't just, as you'll know, stories that explore, they're not always just scary ghost stories. A lot of the time it's comforting, and people claim that it's people from the afterlife sort of giving them comfort. So that's one of those stories, which is pretty creepy.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's nice to sort of see it in a positive light as well. And I think, like you say, we sometimes focus on the horror and the jump scares, but actually, it can be quite a comforting thing. And similar thing happened to my gran. Like when she was about a few weeks before she died, she said that she saw my granddad who'd passed away in the garden waving at her.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks ago, she passed away. So yeah, it's interesting. Does your mum believe?
She does.
Yeah,
she does. Yeah, she definitely does. Yeah.
Has she listened to Follow the Rabbit?
She has. Yeah. She enjoyed the first episode, and then the second episode, she's like, "Yeah, I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the first one." I was like, "Yeah, you don't need to tell me that. Don't need to just say you enjoyed
That's
it."
a mum comment, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think she enjoyed it. Yeah.
So going back to Follow the Rabbit, how long does it roughly take to get an episode together, to get it recorded, to get to get the voice actors in there, to get it recorded, to get it edited?
So the writing is the time consuming part. That's the bit that takes quite a while. Just getting, making sure it all lines up and that all the episodes, because it's a series, and there's a sort of development throughout and it all makes sense. That's the bit that takes a long time. But then once you've got the scripts ready, we only had 2 days to record all the episodes in the studio. So we had to be really on it. So 5 episodes in 2 days, which wasn't ideal, but was doable. So yeah, we just had to be really, that's where, as a producer, you come in, you have to be really on it in terms of being organized, and just making sure everything is getting done, because you don't have unlimited time to keep getting lots of takes. You just have to make sure you're getting a couple of options, 2 or 3 options, and then moving on. So yeah, 2 days in the studio, and then the editing, probably 3 weeks, I'd say, for all of them.
That's really good going for that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'd prefer to. It wasn't comfortable. I would have preferred to have more time than that. But yeah, we just sort of had to go at it, really. And it was me doing a lot of long days, staring at the computer screen until I couldn't anymore. And obviously, as you'll know, editing this yourself, you're listening to it back a lot, and you just you get to a point where you never want to hear it again, because you've heard it so many times. Going back and finding alternate takes and tweaking it and going re-listening. So yeah, it's quite intense. But yeah, I'd say once the scripts are written, a couple of days in the studio, and then a few weeks to edit. But ideally, you'd have longer than that.
You know all about the writing, Marie, and how long that takes.
Yeah, and it's terrifying looking at a blank page, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, when I produce something and then it's going through it again and again.
That's it. Yeah, I think the rewriting part is where it starts coming together, because once you've got that first draft, it is a first draft, and you have to keep coming back to it and refining it until it's where it needs to be. But yeah, I think for me, the writing the jokes is the easy part. It's the story and the structure that takes a little bit more figuring out. But yeah.
Do you do anything at Halloween? Or?
I don't usually, but I do like it when I'm invited somewhere and I can have an excuse to dress up, because I do like dressing up, and I do like to, although it's not always strictly sort of horror characters or scary characters. I did Amy Winehouse once, which was really impressive, actually.
Right.
I've done like David Bowie and Ace Ventura, so sort of like characters from films, which I suppose is how Halloween's gone now. It's more kind of characters from popular culture, right, as opposed to just scary characters.
I've always fancied Teen Wolf, to be honest, but I've never been invited anyway. So
that's the thing. Actually getting invited to the thing, that's where I'm falling down. I need someone to invite me to a party, but if I don't get an invite, then I don't tend to do anything for it. But love Halloween.
Yeah, I take it a bit too seriously. I've got 2 young boys, and we go trick-or-treating with a group of parents and kids around here. But I take it too seriously. Like, I'll dress like a demon from hell, whereas no one else is dressed up. It's just me. So I take
if you're going to do it, you might as well, right? Just go all out. That's what I think.
So thank you, James. Follow the Rabbit is out now on BBC Sounds. James, where's the best place to follow you for updates?
I am on Twitter, although I'm not that active on it. I was only really doing that to promote this, but yeah, you can find me. Search my name. I'm around. But yeah, more importantly, listen to Follow the Rabbit. Yeah, it's all on BBC Sounds.
If you want to be found.
Hopefully there'll be some more coming soon.
Thank you very much indeed, James. And we look forward to hopefully having you on again when the second season comes out, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Okay. Thanks, James. Take care.
Thank you.
Now, it's usually here that you're listening to the end theme music and thinking about what to do next. That may involve walking the dog, building a full-size replica of Westminster Abbey from matchsticks, or taking up a new hobby, such as learning to unicycle whilst playing bagpipes. But what if I told you that this wasn't the end of the episode? You see, our guest has been incredibly kind enough to answer a few more questions, and that means, if you're either possessed or haunted, you'll be the only ones to have access to this exclusive extended version of the interview. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, James, following on from the first part of the interview, this is for our patrons and our patrons only. So, our first question is, what makes you truly scared? Now, this could be anything. This could be, again, as you said, Marie, staring at a blank piece of paper and not having any ideas about something. It could be, what really, truly scares you?
Yeah, that's what scares me.
That is scary, to be fair, when you've got script deadlines and you're being asked where they are and they're not ready. That is very scary.
Especially when you've worked on shows the size of things that you've worked on. I mean, you've done Mock the Week, haven't you? You've done Shooting Stars, Graham Norton, and, really impressive lineup of shows. So to be, I would imagine to have the pressure of a deadline to write, for shows like that, I just couldn't imagine it, to be honest. I think I'd be.
I think writing for other shows is easier because, it's not, although it's something you're writing yourself, you're writing to a brief, but when it's your own idea and it's something you really want to get right and you're writing and producing it, there's quite a lot of pressure there because, I'm a perfectionist as well, so I really want it to be right. It's quite scary when you're doing that, but at the end of it, it's all worth it. It might not feel like it at the beginning, or halfway through, but it's always worth it at the end. But in terms of, I suppose really it's the unknown, isn't it? It's something being with you and, or sort of around you, and you don't know what or where it is or what it's going to do. I think that's like a real primal fear, isn't it? I suppose. Yeah, something that's unknown. I think that's what makes the best horror films as well. It's when you can't see the threat. So Alien or things like Jaws.
Jaws. I'm just going to say two words here. And Marie, you know these. The Thing. End of.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
No, which you still haven't watched.
Oh, it's so good.
If you want something to play
I still haven't watched it.
That's the film.
Yeah, especially just desolate Arctic wasteland, trapped in a building, and you don't know what's going on and who it is. Super scary.
Okay, so we've gone through a number of stories. We've actually had a few listeners as well that have actually written into us with experiences of time slips. Now, there's obviously a very famous one in Liverpool on Bold Street. If you were to hit a time slip, which period in time and which place would you love to end up popping into, and why?
The boring answer is the 60s, so I could experience the hippie movement and see Black Sabbath. That's a damn good
answer.
I'd like to do that. But the more exciting answer would be probably ancient Egypt, I think, because of their association and their sort of obsession with the dead, I suppose, to see their rituals for the dead. And I think that would just be so cool. And also to see them building the pyramids, so we could definitely rule out aliens doing it, just to make sure, so we can confirm it wasn't aliens.
None of that stone levitation
I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, because we don't know, but it probably wasn't aliens, but
we could ask Chris Relish.
I'll send Chris Relish back to ancient Egypt. Yeah, that would be cool.
And last question. Who is your paranormal idol and why?
Well, I don't really have one, but I'm going to have to say Danny Robbins simply because Follow Rabbit wouldn't exist without Uncanny, I don't think. And he was a good sport appearing in the show. So probably I'm going to have to say Danny Robbins. I know he's like the poster boy. He's the poster boy, paranormal poster boy at the moment. But he, like I say, Uncanny, the idea came from Uncanny, so it probably wouldn't exist without him. And, the fact that he was in it and did a very funny job.
Yeah, and I think he's created a real movement, hasn't he, really? People coming forward.
Yeah, definitely.
About experiences.
And I've had fans of Uncanny sort of enjoying Follow the Rabbit as well, and I think there's a crossover there. So yeah, it's good to tap into.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer.
Yeah, we're both definitely fans of Uncanny,
Definitely.
and I'm going to shove one more question, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure.
Because myself and Marie, we've both been to see 222 A Ghost Story.
Yeah, me too.
And I just thought it was absolutely riveting. It was brilliantly done.
Really well done.
Yeah, and I just think it's so difficult to, again, as Marie said, with a blank piece of paper, but you've got a theatre stage that you've got to fill for 2.5 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is with just a small number of characters, and to make that interesting, I just think is an absolute art form. It's fantastic. Would you be prepared, if you had the opportunity, to put Follow the Rabbit on stage?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, definitely. I think that would be.
Because I think it would work amazingly well on stage.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if
I can imagine that.
you sort of had this. I don't know. Have you seen the Uncanny Live show as well?
Yeah, I've been to see the live one. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And you know how he has a sort of moving set, doesn't he? And he has the shed, and you could have Chris Relish in the shed doing his monologues, and then move the set around and meeting the people. Yeah, it would definitely work on stage. I'd love to do that. Yeah,
I just think that would be so good, because there are so many opportunities in it with the one-liners and especially the characters that you'd really get some great laughs out of a theatre audience with if that was out there live.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's hearing that live feedback of people actually laughing is what makes a difference, because you put it out on the radio and it's out there. But actually hearing people laugh along to what you've written is a different experience. Yeah,
that's brilliant. Thank you so much, James, for answering those additional questions.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And all the best with Follow the Rabbit and everything in the future. And we've got your email address, and we're not going to let you go. So we'll be in touch with you. Believe me.
If I happen to have an experience, I'll be sure to let you know.
Oh my God, that would be brilliant, James. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Wait. Don't switch off just yet. You didn't think everything went that smooth, did you? Here's a cock-up.
Thanks so much for coming on, by the way.
Oh, that's okay. It's it's really exciting. I should probably tell you how to pronounce my last name, by the way, as it's a tricky one.
Boughen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did our research.
Oh, it says it in the credits, right? I was so surprised there, because nobody's ever got it right, but then I realised you can listen, and Boughen,
Boughen.
It's a weird name.
Right, okay, so we'll pop our theme music on and bits and pieces afterwards, and we'll just go from here. Let me grab my notes. I don't even need notes that big. Okay, right. Are we ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Don't laugh, Marie.
No, I'm sorry. I'll stop. Go.
Right. No. Go on. Stop.
Last laugh.
Okay. Welcome to Talk Haunts, and we have James Boughen with us for our Halloween I'm going to do that again.
No, it's Boughen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I threw you off there.
Yeah, and action. Okay.